That's my signature. I'm Ana Escobedo Cabral, 42nd Treasurer of the United States, and it's my honor to help introduce you to the new $10 note. The redesign of our nation's currency is part of an ongoing process to stay ahead of currency counterfeiters and make our currency safer, smarter, and more secure. You've probably seen the new designs for the $20 and the $50 notes. You'll start seeing the redesigned $10 note early in 2006. We're also working on a new $100 note, which will be coming out later. The Federal Reserve and the Department of Treasury are committed to continuous improvements in currency design in order to protect your hard-earned money. To ensure this, we expect to introduce new currency designs every 7 to 10 years. Today, we want to show you some of the important features of the redesigned $10 note, especially the embedded security features that help you know it's real. We can make the notes hard to counterfeit, but only you can protect yourself from being stuck with a counterfeit. So we'll show you how to quickly identify and authenticate the new $10 notes. And we'll remind you of steps you can take if you think you have received a counterfeit note. Let's take a look.
The new $10 note is the third in a series of design changes to help safeguard your hard-earned money. Like the $20 and the $50 notes, the $10 note is safer because it's harder to counterfeit and easier to check, smarter to stay ahead of currency counterfeiters, and more secure to protect the integrity of U.S. currency. The most noticeable difference in the new designs is the subtle introduction of background colors, which makes it more difficult for potential counterfeiters because it adds complexity to the notes. The colors will also make it easier to distinguish between denominations because different background colors will be used for each denomination. Even though the redesigned notes now have color, they still preserve the distinct size, look, and feel of the traditional American greenback, the world's most familiar and circulated currency. While the look of the currency will undergo subtle changes, all notes, new or old, will always be honored at their full face value. There will be no recall or devaluation of any U.S. notes. The United States has never devalued its currency and will not do so now. All of the redesigned notes have three important security features: color-shifting ink, watermark, and security thread. First, let's look at the color-shifting ink. Look at the number 10 in the lower right corner on the front of the note. When you tilt the note up and down, the color-shifting ink changes from copper to green, just as it does on the new $20 and $50 notes. But there's another reason to pay special attention to this feature. You can check it very discreetly by tilting your 10 slightly, and you won't offend anyone by drawing attention to the fact that you're authenticating the note. Second, let's look at the watermark. Hold the bill up to the light and look for the watermark or faint image similar to the large portrait of Treasury Secretary Alexander Hamilton. The watermark is part of the paper itself and can be seen from both sides of the note. A blank oval has been incorporated into the new $10 design to highlight the watermark's location. Sometimes currency counterfeiters will fake a watermark by printing a light image where the watermark should be. Don't let that fool you. You can only see the watermark if you hold the bill up to the light. Watermarks of Presidents Andrew Jackson and Ulysses S. Grant can be found on the redesigned $20 and $50 notes, respectively. Third, let's look at the security thread. Hold the bill up to the light and look for the security thread, or plastic strip, that is embedded in the paper and runs vertically to the right of the portrait. If you look closely, the words USA 10 and a small flag are visible along the thread from both sides of the note. This thread glows orange when held under ultraviolet light. In the redesigned $10 note, the thread has shifted slightly to the right. On the $20 note, the security thread runs up the left side of the note. On the $50 note, it's just to the right of the portrait. Those are the big three: color-shifting ink, watermark, security thread. Make sure to look for each of these easy-to-find security features in your redesigned $10, $20, and $50 bills. Here are some other features that are worth knowing about on the redesigned $10 note. Color. The most noticeable difference in the redesigned note is the addition of subtle background colors of orange, yellow, and red. The words "We the People" from the United States Constitution have been printed in red in the background to the right of the portrait. Also, small yellow 10s have been printed in the background to the left of the portrait on the front of the bill and to the right of the vignette on the back of the bill. The background colors differ with each denomination to help distinguish them. Symbols of freedom. Two images of the torch carried by the Statue of Liberty are printed in red on the front of the bill. A large image of the torch is printed in the background to the left of the portrait of Secretary Hamilton, while a second smaller metallic red image of the torch can be found on the lower right side of the portrait. The symbols of freedom differ for each denomination. And here's a feature that intentionally isn't easy to see: microprinting. Because they are so small, microprinted words are hard to replicate. The redesigned $10 note features microprinting on the face of the note in 4 areas. The word USA and the numeral 10 can be found repeated beneath the large printed torch. And the words the United States of America and $10 can be found below the portrait, as well as vertically inside the left and right borders of the note. Low vision feature. The large numeral 10 in the lower right corner on the back of the bill is easy to read. Paper. Currency paper is 1/4 linen and 3/4 cotton. It contains red and blue fibers. Federal Reserve indicators. A universal seal to the left of the portrait represents the entire Federal Reserve System. A letter and number beneath the left serial number identifies the issuing Federal Reserve Bank. Serial number. The unique combination of 11 numbers and letters appears twice on the front of the note. The second letter of the serial number will always match up with the first letter of the Federal Reserve indicator, which identifies the issuing Federal Reserve Bank. On the new $10 note, the left serial number has shifted slightly to the right compared with previous designs. Portrait and vignette. The oval borders and fine lines surrounding the portrait of Secretary Hamilton on the front and the United States Treasury Building vignette on the back have been removed. The portrait has been moved up and shoulders have been extended into the border. Additional engraving details have been added to the vignette background. Now you know how to check your notes to make sure they're genuine. But what should you do if you suspect you have been given a counterfeit note? Here are a few things to keep in mind. Most importantly, play it safe. Don't try to act or pose as a law enforcement official. Outside the United States, say you can't accept the note and contact your local law enforcement authorities. In the U.S., try to keep the note. Delay the passer if you can do it safely. Call the police. Take a good look at the passer so you can describe him or her to police or Secret Service agents. Don't touch the note any more than you have to. There may be fingerprints law enforcement can use. Put your initials and the date on the edge of the front of the bill and surrender it only to the police or Secret Service. And above all, never put yourself in danger.
Thank you for your attention. And as we have said, we are doing everything we can to stay ahead of counterfeiters and their high-tech tricks. But we need your help. You're the front line of defense. And if you're on the lookout for counterfeits, you can make a big dent in counterfeiters' efforts to take advantage of us. Remember, tilt your 10, look for the color-shifting ink, and hold your note up to the light to check for the watermark and the security thread. Check your money, protect yourself and your business.
For more information about the new Currency Public Education Program and to order or download free of charge the educational and training materials that are available, visit our website at www.moneyfactory.gov/newmoney.